In the heart of the Mandinka kingdom of Niani, a prophecy echoes through the land. A prophecy that foretells the rise of a great ruler who will unite the fractured tribes of Mali and lead them to glory. This king, according to the elders, would be born to a queen who had endured hardship and ridicule. This ruler, born under the most unlikely of circumstances, would become known as the Lion King of Mali. The prophecy seems like a distant dream when Queen Sagalin, a woman marked by physical imperfections and scorn from the people, gives birth to a son. Sundiata is born with a disability that cripples his legs, making him unable to walk. While his mother's heart swells with love and hope, the court and the people of Niani, who had once jeered at her for her perceived unattractiveness and curse, now openly mock her and her son. The boy, they believe, cannot possibly fulfill the prophecy of greatness. The moment sets the stage for Sundiata's epic journey, highlighting the skepticism and adversity that surrounds his birth. His mother's strength and love for him are central to his early years, as she clings to the belief that her son will one day prove his worth, despite the mockery. Sundiata grows, but his disability remains a cruel reminder of his supposed weakness. While other children run and play, Sundiata is forced to watch from the sidelines, his legs twisted beneath him. He becomes the target of taunts and cruelty from his peers, including his half-brother, Dankaran Tuman, who has inherited the throne in his father's stead. Dankaran, who possesses all the outward signs of royalty, youth, strength, and charisma, sees Sundiata as a threat and delights in mocking him. The people of Niani also scorn the young prince, seeing only a crippled boy who will never be the one to bring about the greatness promised by the prophecy. Yet, despite the jeers, Sundiata's mind and spirit remain unbroken. Queen Sagalin, his mother, continues to nurture him with love and wisdom. She teaches him that true power does not lie in physical appearance or strength, but in one's heart and the strength of one's spirit. She tells him of the great kings of their ancestors who triumphed over great odds, and she instills in him the belief that his destiny is greater than the limitations of his body. This chapter emphasizes the cruelty of external judgment and how Sundiata's inner resilience and the guidance of his mother prepare him for the greatness that awaits. The bond between Sundiata and his mother is central to the development of his character. Queen Sagalin, despite her own bitterness from years of being mocked, finds solace and strength in her son. She teaches him the stories of Mali's past, the great leaders who overcame obstacles and united their people. Sundiata listens intently, learning lessons not only about leadership, but about patience and determination. Sagalin tells him that true greatness is earned over time, not born instantly. She shows him the value of persistence, of never giving up, no matter the odds. It is during this time that Sundiata's internal transformation begins. While his legs remain crippled, his mind sharpens, and his heart grows even more determined to rise above the cruelty and hardships that have defined his early life. Here, we see the formative influence of his mother, whose love and wisdom shaped Sundiata into a future ruler. It also underscores the power of maternal influence and guidance in the development of a great leader. The turning point comes when Sundiata reaches the age of 12. Though still crippled, he begins to sense that his time to fulfill the prophecy is near. With the guidance of a trusted healer and warrior, he embarks on a grueling regimen of physical and mental training. His determination is fueled not by the desire to prove others wrong, but by his understanding that his purpose is greater than personal glory. After years of painstaking effort, Sundiata miraculously learns to walk, slowly at first, but then with more strength and grace, he begins to run. His new ability becomes a symbol of his inner transformation. He is no longer the crippled boy dismissed by the world, but a young man whose potential cannot be ignored. His remarkable progress is a testament to his resilience, hard work, and belief in himself. As Sundiata strengthens his body, his mind also sharpens. He becomes a skilled tactician, a wise diplomat, and a compassionate leader. This chapter is crucial because it marks the moment when Sundiata truly starts to believe in his destiny, and the people around him begin to see glimpses of the greatness he is destined to achieve. As Sundiata gains strength, the political landscape of Mali begins to crumble. The kingdom of Niani, which once seemed invincible, is now vulnerable to the rising power of Samaro Kandi, a cruel and sorcerous king from the Sasso Empire. Samaro's forces ravage the land, and the once great kingdom of the Mandinka begins to fall apart under the weight of poor leadership and division. Dankaran, who now rules Niani in place of the late king Nerefe, proves to be a weak and indecisive leader. His lack of courage and vision becomes clear as he fails to rally the people against Samaro's forces. As Niani falls, Sundiata's potential becomes more apparent to those who have not yet given up hope. However, Dankaran, afraid of losing his throne, orders Sundiata and his mother into exile. Sundiata's exile is a cruel twist of fate, but it serves to shape him. Forced to leave his home and watch his kingdom crumble, Sundiata's resolve hardens. The chapter serves as a painful yet necessary moment in Sundiata's growth, showing that even in moments of great loss, there is room for personal transformation and the forging of greater strength. In exile, Sundiata and his mother travel across Mali and beyond, seeking refuge and building alliances with other tribes. Though initially cast aside by his people, Sundiata's growing wisdom and strength begin to attract attention. He learns of the tribes who suffer under Samaro's oppressive rule and decides that it is time to act. Sundiata's exile is not one of defeat, but of preparation. He meets with chieftains, wise men, and warriors who share in his vision for a united Mali. He learns the importance of alliances and diplomacy, and with each new tribe he unites, his following grows. This chapter showcases Sundiata's political acumen and leadership, revealing how he gains the trust of those who are weary from years of conflict and division. As Sundiata's reputation spreads, he is able to unite the various tribes of Mali, each with their own unique needs and histories. The alliances he forms are forged not just through military prowess, but through his ability to understand the desires of each tribe and offer them a better future under his rule. One of the most important alliances is with the powerful warrior, Mamadi, who pledges his forces to Sundiata in exchange for a share of the future prosperity. Through diplomacy and the forging of friendships, Sundiata builds an army capable of challenging Samaro Kandi's forces. In this chapter, Sundiata's strength as a unifier becomes clear. It is not just his physical prowess or military strategy that sets him apart, but his ability to inspire loyalty and foster cooperation among different peoples. Sundiata and his growing army march toward Niani, determined to reclaim the throne and free Mali from the oppressive rule of Samaro. As they approach Niani, Sundiata faces the formidable sorcery of Samaro, whose dark powers have been used to terrorize the land. Sundiata, however, has learned that the key to defeating Samaro lies not in brute force, but in understanding the Sorcerer King's weaknesses. With the help of his trusted griot, who reveals the secrets of Samaro's power, Sundiata formulates a plan to destroy the sorcerer's magic and defeat him in battle. The battle itself is intense, filled with moments of strategy, heroism, and sacrifice. Sundiata's leadership and bravery shine through, as he leads his army with the wisdom and conviction of a true king. The final confrontation with Samaro is a battle of both physical might and spiritual endurance. Samaro's magic is strong, but it is no match for Sundiata's will and the strength of the people he has united. In a climactic showdown, Sundiata defeats Samaro, ending his reign of terror. This victory is symbolic not just of military success, but of the triumph of unity, justice, and resilience. Sundiata's rise to power signifies the fulfillment of the prophecy and the restoration of peace to Mali. Samaro's defeat is a victory not just for Sundiata, but for all those who have suffered under oppression. With Samaro's defeat, Sundiata returns to Niani and is crowned king, taking his place as the first emperor of the Mali Empire. His reign marks a new era of prosperity, peace, and unity. He works tirelessly to ensure that his people thrive, establishing laws, promoting trade, and fostering the cultural growth of Mali. Sundiata's wisdom and leadership transform Mali into one of the most powerful empires in West Africa. He is remembered not just as a warrior, but as a wise and just king, beloved by his people. The legend of the Lion King of Mali lives on, inspiring future generations with the story of a boy who overcame adversity and united a fractured land. As the story reaches its climax, the themes of resilience, leadership, and unity come full circle. Sundiata Keita's legacy endures, a shining example of what it means to rise above one's circumstances and fulfill one's destiny. Each chapter of his life builds on the themes of overcoming adversity, the importance of unity, and the power of wise leadership. Together, they form a powerful narrative that highlights Sundiata's transformation from a mocked, crippled boy to the legendary king who created the Mali Empire.